Today, I've got something super exciting planned for you. We got 5 core exercises that are a little bit different than the same old boring crunches and sit-ups and planks that you're used to. Best part, we're gonna be using resistance bands for all of them. So grab your bands and let's go build some abs. First up, we have the Pallof Press. So this is an anti-rotation exercise that's great for building stability, which works for everything, whether you're doing lifting, everyday movement. It's just a great all-around stability builder to work on that cross-body stabilization. So to set this up, grab yourself a 41-inch band, anchor it about chest high. Probably start with something lighter so that you can get used to this and then get heavier as you go, because again, it's all about progressive resistance. As you do these, you're gonna wanna progress to heavier and heavier bands to build a stronger core. So setting this up, once you have your band anchored, you're gonna grab that band with both hands, bring it close to your chest, and then take a horizontal step away from that anchor point. Now you're gonna feel that tension starting to rotate you and pull you back towards the anchor point. You're going to fight against that, and then we're gonna make it even more challenging. This is the press part of the Pallof press. We're gonna press this band out, and we're gonna maintain that perpendicular orientation. So you wanna fight against the tension, contracting that core, big squeeze at the top, let it down nice and slow, and you're probably gonna wanna do like 10, 20 reps and then switch sides, because right now we're working one side, so you're gonna have to switch sides and do the other side. It's really easy. You just turn around, boom, now we're working the other side. It is that simple, and it's a fun exercise. If you need more tension, you can always step further away from the anchor point. If you need less tension, step closer to the anchor point, and then you can also increase or decrease the size of the band. Next up, we got a crowd favorite. It's the banded dead bug. If you've ever done a dead bug before, you know this one is all about keeping that lower back glued to the floor, and it's gonna work those deep core muscles and stabilization muscles that support your spine. So it's a great core exercise, and adding a band is a game changer. So how do we set these up? Grab yourself a mat on the floor and an anchor point that's close to the floor as well. 41-inch band anchored to it. And then we're gonna get into our position here. We wanna scoot away from the anchor point kind of far enough so that it's gonna give us tension. We're gonna bring our arms up basically straight out from our body, and there should be some tension here that you're fighting against. And then we're gonna keep that low back glued to the floor, bringing our legs up to that 90-degree angle. And then we're gonna just do one leg at a time, bring it all the way down to the floor, bring it back up, and then we're just alternating legs. And again, keep that core engaged tight and glue that lower back to the floor. I don't want you arching off the floor and tilting that pelvis away. And this is all about control. We're not doing anything fast. And feel it deep in that core. Engage those core muscles as we're doing this and fight through the set. All right, now we're gonna kick it up a notch. We're gonna throw in some side plank rows. Now this one is a multitasker. It's gonna hit your obliques, your core, your lats, even your shoulder stabilizers. And it's a little challenging. So make sure we start with a light band here, and you're gonna need like a mat or something because we're going on a side plank. Low anchor with this light 41-inch band. And then getting into it, we're doing a side plank. So you're basically gonna stack your feet, grab your band with your top arm, and then your bottom arm is gonna be planted into the floor. We're getting up into that side plank position. And the biggest thing here is to avoid that sagging. Like, we don't wanna be sagging down with our hips. We want a nice straight line. And then we're gonna pull into this. We're rowing it, elbow behind the spine. Nice and slow and controlled here. And you can see the stabilization going on. And you can do is like sets of 10, sets of 15, sets of 20, kind of whatever you want to do here to get a nice good burn. And then if you need to make it easier, you can always go down on your elbow and your forearm here. Now we're gonna have a little bit more stabilization, and it's gonna be easier to kind of do this exercise. And then to switch sides, super simple. Just gonna rotate around, go to our opposite arm, and boom, we're doing the other side. All right, next up, we're gonna switch over to some reverse crunches. So this is exactly as the name implies. Instead of bringing our head up to our lower body, we're gonna bring the lower body towards our upper body, and we're gonna toss in a band to make it even more challenging. So I would recommend starting with the lightest band possible. This is the lightest one that we sell at Clench, and it's still pretty tough even for me. So you might even have to start with no band at all to kind of get your bearings and get used to this exercise. Basically sit down on your pad, loop the band around the top side of your feet, and basically you want to kind of start with just enough tension so that the band stays on your foot, but so that the tension isn't too tight to be able to get all the way through the range of motion. We're gonna lean back here. You can either put your hands kind of down at your side. I like to do it with my hands up behind my head just because I feel like I'm a little bit more balanced this way. And then you're gonna basically pull up our knees right to our face, and then you're gonna try to pick them hips up off the ground to get that full contraction of your abdominal muscles. And then we're gonna lower it all the way down, nice and controlled. Exhale on the way up. Big squeeze as we're getting those hips off the ground. And this one, it's only gonna take like 2 to 3 sets to failure before your lower abs are ready to explode. And you can hear it in my voice. This is super challenging, and it is just a good lower ab burner. And last but definitely not least, we're gonna do some kneeling band crunches. If you want an exercise that mimics the cable pull down crunch, this one is for you. This one is great for your upper abs and just kind of like building mass and strength in general, because you can really load this up and feel comfortable as you're doing it. To set it up, super easy. Grab yourself 41-inch band. You're gonna want a high anchor point. You can use a wall anchor. You can also use like a pull-up bar, so that way you can get kind of directly underneath of it. It's really kind of up to you, and you just have to play with the angles a little bit. To do the exercise, I like to use like a balance pad or something that I can kneel on that's nice and cushioned. And then you're gonna reach up overhead, grab as much band as you can get, and then put it behind your neck. This is just the slack. There's no actual band tension on my neck here. It's all being borne by my hands. And then I just kind of pull my hands down to the side of my head here, so it's nice and comfortable and the band doesn't get in the way. And then you basically are gonna have to find an optimal position here so that when you go down, your head doesn't hit on the wall. That's why I like doing it under a pull-up bar, so that when you're going through this range of motion, you have a little bit more control over where you are without interfering with anything. And this one, we're gonna focus on making sure you have tension here at the start of the exercise, pulling you straight up. And then we're gonna come in, contract our core, and kind of round our back. Exhale, big squeeze, and then let it up nice and slow. We're not pivoting at the hips here. We're trying to pivot our spine and contract the abs. Big squeeze, let it up nice and slow. And this one just sets those abs on fire. And like I said, you can really load up the band tension, and it is a great ab exercise. All right, that's a wrap. There's 5 core building exercises that should be nice and fresh because we're using resistance bands. Whether you're at your home or in the gym, you can do these exercises anywhere and build a nice, strong core. If you like this video, be sure to smash that like button. Also, let me know in the comments which one was your favorite exercise, or if you have any other banded exercises that you love to do for core, let me know. I would love to hear them. Also, if you need any of the bands or accessories shown today, head over to clenchfitness.com. We will hook you up, and thank you so much for watching.